Hello and welcome to the Merle and Locke podcast. I'm Merle.
And I'm Locke.
Set sail and low expectations for everything nerd, accompanied by a healthy, albeit shameful, hope, and pointless bands of lack of focus and questionably acquired knowledge.
And more.
And more. Alright, so Locke, it's coming up on one of our favorite holidays.
I sense some sarcasm, maybe.
So we're, of course, talking about Thanksgiving. So, yeah, we were having a conversation about Thanksgiving before we even started, because I mean it's a big holiday for a lot of people. A lot of people enjoy celebrating it. A lot of Americans, that is. I don't know that anyone else would celebrate that or have any reason to. Anyway, so golly, all right. So I thought we could like talk about some memories that we have of Thanksgiving, or like how we remember celebrating it, especially when we were children. When I know nowadays, like, not many people like really get into it like we used to, at least in my mind. So what I remember when I was a kid, this was just it was a huge to do, where like the whole family would get together and we would have this huge swath of food and all sitting at the table together and going around the table and sharing what we were thankful for, and everybody would say something corny for the most part, except for the kids. We would say like our new toys or something like that, or like video games. Thankful for video games. All the parents would roll their eyes.
That's
and
what we're here for. We're here for the video games.
Always here for the video games. Man, and yeah, like I do, look back fondly on those memories. Just the fact of spending time with like the whole family, which was always nice. I don't think it ever got really dramatic. I know a lot of people have that stories about like a bunch of drama going on when the whole family gets together. But I mean, at least for my family, it was, it was pretty chill and everybody had a good time and we all enjoyed each other's company. And when I got older and when I was married and I would go to my wife's at the time, her family, and we'd spend Thanksgiving with them, and it was more, like everything was chilled out, and we would just all cook together and we'd watch football, and it would just be a really good time. But I made this admission earlier, to you at least, Luck, where, like, I can't remember the last time I had like a traditional Thanksgiving, because since I live across the country from my family, and so I'd never go back for Thanksgiving. Like the most, like, yeah, I'll go back for like, Christmas a couple of times, but I've never gone back for Thanksgiving. So
it'd get quite expensive to make all those holiday trips.
Yeah, it would do. And I'm not particularly, wealthy in any way,
Right.
Unfortunately. So yeah, I can't afford such a thing, or such a luxury. But I remember I tried a few times, especially when we initially moved out here. I tried to give my daughter like something that'd be fun. Like I would make a turkey and we would sit around and eat and watch some football. But my daughter didn't enjoy she doesn't enjoy my cooking. She doesn't like my cooking, which is kind of a bummer. I thought it was like I spent all day on these turkeys,
Were you a lot like if you remember The Santa Claus with Tim Allen? Were you a lot like Scott Calvin?
No.
He just burned the turkey in the oven.
I did no. It wasn't. It was perfect. I wish I had like a picture I could send you. It was. Right. It was so good. Well, like I absolutely loved it. But it
pictures
was,
didn't happen.
Like the thing the thing about my daughter, right? If it's more if as far as flavor goes, if it's more than, simply base and salt, that it's too quote unquote spicy for her, you know? Even pepper, If I I can't have pepper or she doesn't like it, So I had too many spices. I used too many herbs and I used lots of butter, man. Like I destroyed this turkey with butter. Like I even did the thing where like I separated the skin from the rest of the meat, and I put my hand in there and I took like a block of butter and spread it around inside underneath. And man, I went all out on this thing, but she didn't like it, so I gave up. And now she spends Thanksgiving with her mom because her mom's boyfriend has a huge family, and they have lots of kids, and so she has a lot of fun doing that. Which, I mean, I don't blame her for. I don't hold it against her because I'm like, yeah, just eating turkey with dad and watching some football. That's not very fun, is it? Yeah. That's kind of lame. Especially as she gets older. I remember what it used to be so much more simple, to impress her or to entertain her. But nowadays she's like, ugh, dad, just give it up, I'm gonna go do other things,
It's like
have more fun with other
when we
people.
were all younger, we'd follow them around for the most part. But once we got older, and then once we started playing with other kids our age, then we're like, I'd rather go do that.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's hard to hold it against her. I totally get it. So yeah, I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. Admittedly, I just putz around the house and just entertain myself until all my online buddies finish their Thanksgiving celebration and then get online. That's that's what it is for me. I just wait all day until they get online so I can play video games. I'm sure there's many other people like that who do that. Not anybody that I know personally, I feel. Do you have any big plans for Thanksgiving this year?
Not this year. I mean, we're going to be spending time with Jane Doe's family for this Thanksgiving, since we had already done our thing this year, which is a whole new thing for me. I mean, all of it's been new for the past few years for me, with everything that has kind of changed. Not to get into all that details, but yeah, it's a lot different than how things were when I was a kid having Thanksgiving. Now, my mom was one who tried to get things to be special for the kids.
Aw,
She loved having all that stuff. Yeah, she loved that family time. But boy, the Thanksgiving, as you get older, you really start to see a lot of the family drama, or at least I did. I was around it a lot. I sat around listening on the drama. I wish I would have walked away and just went over and did kid stuff,
oof.
but instead I listened in on the gossip.
Oh no,
This is
that's awful.
maybe why to this day I don't care for drama television. I've lived enough of it.
Aw.
uh, I mean, I can recall the good moments of being able to spend time with the cousins after we ate a nice meal. Now we had like a little pre-game Thanksgiving before we get together with the big family. So we kind of did our own little thing, then got together with them. And there were some years where it was the whole family, both halves. Not that the other half had many people there, but when all halves were there, boy, I do recall now some of the drama. And why it was probably good that they didn't always all show up.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It was, I guess, why I also loved Home Alone, right? because that was one of those like big family get-togethers, and Chevy Chase Christmas as well. Like seeing that family dysfunction, I was like, huh, reminds me of my younger days.
Well, yeah, like I love that those kinds of movies where it's just like, it makes you feel like, oh, you know what, my family isn't as messed up as I thought they were. It's
I can't say that I felt that way. I picked apart every individual character and I said, that reminds me of one family member, that one reminds me of this family member. They all had their individual placement, who they reminded me of. That was my fun thing as a kid, just to pick apart people's personalities.
Man, I remember, man, I do remember, the more we talk about it, I think back to like, the build up to Thanksgiving, when you're in school, or when I was a kid, like at church, we would always do make all these decorations and what have you, and like art projects and stuff having to do with Thanksgiving. And remember like the like hand turkeys?
Yep, sure do. It was the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh man, and I still have now that I talk about that, I remember when I was homeschooled, we did this had this one little get together where all the homeschool kids, we all got together at one person's house, and we were learning about Thanksgiving and what it means, or like where it originates from. And we had to put on this skit, and we, some of us were pilgrims, some of us were Native Americans. We were all dressed up, and like I could remember this picture. I saw it not too long ago when I was visiting my parents, and I looked into one of the photo albums that my mom had, and it was just a picture of us all dressed up, for this skit. It was like a whole bunch of us white kids, dressed up as like Native Americans with like the feather on our heads and stuff. Oh man, and it's just like, people nowadays, if they look at this and be like, oh, that's so offensive,
That's so offensive. We didn't see it as offensive when we were kids, right? We looked at stuff like that, like we thought, boy, how cool it would have been to be Native American.
Oh man, yeah. When we used to play a little game called Cowboys and Indians, right?
Yep, used to be a game perfectly natural for kids.
Well,
and
yeah.
we didn't like look at it as in like all these really terrible things that happen to people.
No, we didn't consider that. But most of us, we would fight to be the play the Native American role, because we got to make, our stick bows and shoot sticks at the cowboys, and we thought it's like, they're so cool, like doing all this guerrilla warfare stuff and like hiding up in the trees and what have you. And we admired it, we thought it was so cool. But yeah, like I realize, there's offense taken in some regard, or, well, I don't know. I never discussed this with a Native American myself. I mostly hear this offense being taken from other white people.
Yeah.
But so I couldn't tell you like if it is actually, or I don't know. I couldn't say, because I haven't had this discussion with a Native American, but yeah, no, I remember that being a lot of fun. God, going back to like all the Thanksgiving stuff and seeing that picture, man, like I'm gonna have to remember next time I visit my parents to like take a picture of that and send it to you so you can see it. It is. Oh man, it's the cutest thing. I'm pretty sure I was a pilgrim though. I got that stupid little buckle hat. I hated it. I wanted to be one of the Native Americans.
So I don't want to be a filthy pilgrim.
I don't want to be a pilgrim.
Well, other than that, I think of this is only one fond memory that I can really think of. Now that I'm looking back, right after our Thanksgiving dinner, I believe it was after our Thanksgiving dinner. Doesn't matter. Either way, we did this sometime after Thanksgiving. We would go to my nan's or my grandmother's, whatever you call your grandma. Put it in the comments.
Right.
But we used to put together the Christmas train set.
Oh, at Thanksgiving.
At Thanksgiving, because so on two different plywood boards, it was all set up. They even had this paper mache mountain that the trains would go through. You needed a lot of people to come and help set this up.
That's cool.
So what better time than when the whole family's there?
That's smart. Yeah. Okay.
My nan loved to see it all get set up, and it was a nice little family event. It was something that when I was a kid, I was like, I want to help, but I couldn't lift all that stuff, so I couldn't quite do it.
Oh.
So when I got older, I felt like it was just more of a chore. Teenagers, they're just like,
Yeah.
ugh, that's such a chore.
Ugh.
But it was a fond memory to see it all get put up and then see all the lights go up, and now you're ready for a new holiday. You're like, Christmas.
That's pretty exciting, if you were to try to step in those shoes again, seeing the train set being put up, getting ready for Christmas. That's exciting. But no, we'll go into Christmas, when Christmas time is coming.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that then.
Not
now.
I think we might have fonder memories of Christmas than Thanksgiving. Personally, at least.
Probably. Thanksgiving usually left you with a bloated gut, and you wanted to go home and put yourself in a coma for a while.
Yeah. I do remember the wind down, the wind down from Thanksgiving. I remember always enjoying that, because I can picture in my mind this one Thanksgiving where we're at my aunt was hosting it at her house, and yeah, us and all the cousins were together, and we ate a bunch of food, and we were playing and having fun. We had our toys, and I remember the porch door being open, and you could hear the crickets chirping outside the door, and the cicadas going off, and everything was cool, and the weather was nice, and man, it just felt, oh man, brings back some nostalgia for me right now thinking about this. Yeah, it feels that's like a core memory I have in my mind, I suppose.
Core memory unlocked.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. So I mean, ups and downs, of course. Thanksgiving, and I do miss being able to get the whole family together, because it's such a rarity, nowadays, which is a real shame. I mean, I know my family still gets together for the most part, but I just, and I'm unable to join them, unfortunately. But maybe someday I'll make an effort to make some more money during the year and make that trip out there,
You can make some more memories.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Maybe I'll just have to, get over myself and develop a relationship again and make a new family.
No.
Oh, that's a lot of effort, dude. Ugh. Screw that.
That sounds like work.
Yeah, no, I'm over it. No, screw Thanksgiving. That's what I said.
It's a lost holiday.
Yeah, screw it. Let's move on to Christmas. Thank you for joining us on the Merle and Locke podcast. If you enjoyed this banter, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/Merle and Locke, or simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.